The daily briefing in Edinburgh, she condemned the CMO for actions in the face of strong criticism of members of the public. That was her actions in visiting her second home in Fife on 2 occasions. However, Ms Sturgeon said the CMO was learning from her error and that her advice and expertise had been invaluable in combating COVID-19. Dr Calderwood herself spoke at the briefing and offered this public apology.
I've already issued a statement this morning apologising unreservedly for travelling away from my home while restrictions were in place. As well as this weekend, it's important to be clear that I also was there last weekend with my husband. I did not follow the advice I'm giving to others. I'm truly sorry for that. I've seen a lot of the comments from members of the public on Twitter today, people calling me a hypocrite, people telling me about the hardships they've endured while following my guidance. My office has also received emails from members of the public who are making clear to me their disappointment and unhappiness at what I've done. People have told me that I'm irresponsible, that I've behaved as if my advice does not apply to me. I want people to know that I have seen all of that, and I've heard the comments. What I did was wrong. I'm very sorry. It will not happen again. I know how important the advice is that I've issued. I do not want my mistake to distract from that. I don't want to make the jobs of the police or my NHS colleagues any harder, and I apologise to them as well. I have a job to do as Chief Medical Officer to provide advice to ministers on the path of this virus and to support the medical profession as they work night and day to save lives. This was a mistake, human error, and there's no excuses. I should not have done what I did. I'm very sorry about that. I've spoken to the police this morning about this, and I'm sorry for taking up their time on this when it could have been avoided. Having spoken with the First Minister this morning, my intention is to continue to focus on my job.
Dr Catherine Calderwood, who this evening remains as Scotland's Chief Medical Officer, with me, our political correspondent Chris Mason. Chris, quite a story.
An astonishing story and an excruciating news conference for Dr Calderwood to weather question after question after question about her own conduct. Now, you would expect that of anyone in any public office at the moment, but when you are the Chief Medical Officer and one of your principal tasks has been to front the very videos and TV broadcasts in which you are asked to stand piously in front of a sort of imposing looking wooden structure behind you and deliver these messages with which we are now wearily familiar about staying at home and only travelling when it's absolutely necessary, and then we discover, courtesy of the news conference, for the last 2 weekends in a row she's gone on a jaunt to her holiday home in Fife, 50 miles away from her home in Edinburgh, took all of her family with her the first time, and then went again yesterday, courtesy of the journalism of the Scottish Sun on Sunday, who published some pictures of her enjoying the sunshine in Fife. We now know, and she has acknowledged, that she broke the very rules that she has been the principal articulator of. So it's been quite a day for Dr Calderwood. A news conference sunning alongside the First Minister, which was a mea culpa fest the entire way through. And as a little warm-up before her appearance, she'd had a visit from Police Scotland, reminding her of the importance of the very rules that she has been publicly setting out, accompanied by a quote from Scotland's Chief Constable, pointing out their legal obligation to any citizen as far as the delivery of the law of the land is concerned. Now, we have learnt in the last hour or so that Dr Calderwood will no longer be the public face of those public information videos that we've become very familiar with. If you take a look at social media, it is pretty clear why that is necessary, because those with a creative bent
and a lot of time on their hands
because they're at home
following the advice,
following her advice, are now doctoring those videos in which she rather piously says that we all to stay at home, and pointing out that she decided to interpret her own rules rather liberally.
Yeah, no, that's the interesting point, isn't it? Because I noticed that in the statement by the Chief Constable in Livingston from Police Scotland, he very specifically said